Hi everyone, so read your comments on my last video and someone put about getting to know me better. Excuse the kitchen, I am still decorating, so this is not how it always looks. I am going to be doing this while I'm doing my babe's bottles, so bear with me. Don't know where to start really. 23, got a boyfriend, 6-month-old baby who you will hear because he's screaming every so often. He's not crying, he's screaming at the telly because it's not Bing anymore, it's someone else. So yeah, I think you can hear me over the water, it won't be long. I'm 23. Originally, I lived in Ipswich in Suffolk with my parents. Grew up in Felixstowe and then moved back to Ipswich when I was about 15. Normal life really, until about 3 years ago. I had a miscarriage of twins. That was hard. I can't say it. Because of that, I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, which I've learned to deal with, and now to this day it doesn't affect me the way it used to. Like, I don't have to take lots of medication, and that is simply for the reason of life's good at the moment. You know, I have a wonderful partner, a beautiful little baby boy, and 2 amazing stepkids. I don't know how many people can say that about stepkids, but my 2 are amazing. So yeah, I lost track of what I was saying. I will do that a lot, so you'll have to keep track at the same time. So yeah, 3 years ago, lost twins. Dark place. Anyone that's been through it will know. Not somewhere I would wish anyone to go, but unfortunately I had to go through it. I was told it was quite a traumatic experience, and I might go into it a bit more on another video for anyone that needs support in it, because there's so many people that go through it daily, and like, stay silent because no one talks about it. It's like something we all want to keep quiet about. We don't want to like talk, but we should talk, and especially us girls should talk. Partner's used all the tea tins. We should talk about it because so many of us go through it. I mean, 1 in 4 women have a miscarriage, but I know you could sit 10 women and it wouldn't be just 2 of them women have had a miscarriage. It'd probably be like 90% of the room would have had a miscarriage at some point in their life. And that is, like, no woman should have to go through it, but we do. And then I don't think personally there's just enough support out there for when we do go through it. So if anyone wants to hear or talk about their experience or mine, comment. I can give you my link to my Facebook or my Instagram, and we can have a chat. It can be confidential if you want, or I can do a video. Totally up to you guys, but just let me know. So yeah, obviously miscarried twins. that caused me to have what they classified a mental breakdown. I do it like that because I don't think I had a mental breakdown. I think I was just grieving and needed to be picked up and shaken and be like, okay, we know and we're sorry, but you need to carry on with life. As you can hear them in the background. But when I got diagnosed, it was all up in the air. Everyone was like, oh, you don't need, that's a load of crap, you don't need medication, blah, blah, blah. Which is all fine. But last time I checked, they weren't healthcare professionals, they weren't psychiatrists, they weren't doctors, they weren't counsellors. They are just normal people in my life, so they wouldn't know what goes on. Anyway, let's think a bit more about me. Okay, I have 10 tattoos. You might be able to see some of them as I'm waving my arms about. I got my first one, which is on my back, when I was 16. That is for my nan. I don't know if you can see it through the top. Oh, you can. So that's my first one. It is not a butterfly. It's a cross with wings. My nan passed away on the 5th of August 2012 through cancer. So obviously everyone else was getting these memorial tattoos and I was only 16 and I was like, this is unfair. I want to be able to show my love for my nan. And I know I shouldn't have to do that for a tattoo, but I wanted that for myself. So I found somewhere that would tattoo and I went and had it done. And that was the start. I now have 10. I don't know if I said that before. So as you can see, I've got this one just near my collarbone here. In case no one knew, I am a Lion King fan and a massive one at that. So it says, the past can hurt. You can either run from it or learn from it. Now that is Rafiki talking to Simba after Mufasa dies, and honestly, it is the most real quote I've ever heard. Yes, past does hurt. I have had some crap in my life. But what am I going to do? Am I just going to keep running from the past, or am I going to learn to live with it? And honestly, I think I'm learning to live with it. Because otherwise, if you just keep running from it, it's just going to keep coming back. So, but yeah, so that's that one. I've also got a lion on my thigh. I've got a really cringy one on my ankle, which is a butterfly that says Mummy and Daddy's Girl. That is a bit cringy, but I was young when I got it and I thought it looked nice. Not that I am a Mummy and Daddy's Girl. I mean, I am a Daddy's Girl, but not a Mummy. So that's that one. I've got one on my foot that says paw prints leave, dogs leave paw prints on our hearts, and that is for my little Staffy that I had. We had to give away because she kept eating through all the doors, which isn't great, but I loved her anyway. Dad didn't, because obviously she kept eating his doors. But yeah, I got that for her. I've got brother on my wrist with 3 birds, because I've got an older brother who I probably should have told you about. But yeah, I have an older brother. He's married and got 2 kids. He's 3 years older than me, so he got a tattoo for me. I'm not even entirely sure now why, So I repaid the favour, I guess. We all do stuff that we don't really understand why we do it. So that was that. On my forearm, on the other side, this side, I've got Westlife lyrics. Cringy, I know. Again from my nan. She loved Westlife, and it says, "I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be." Now, yes, that's for my nan, but it's also in fact for my dad, because although my mum and dad, they aren't split up, and they raised me together, my dad was my inspiration as I was growing up. He always worked his arse off to make sure we had what we wanted, and that showed back on me, because when I was 12 I got a paper round. Now I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're 12 that is a lot. And then when I turned 15 I went and worked at Burger King, and done after school and weekends at Burger King. I then went on to Mothercare once I'd left school, and was doing that quite a lot. I then left Mothercare to go to an apprenticeship where I done Business Administration, MBQ qualification. I used that for, I think it was a 2-year course, but I was working in estate agency. I then left there to go to quite an unusual job, which no one believes me that I worked in, but it was called reproduction, and it was out in Petta, in the country. That's all I know. And it was working with celebrities. Now, the only one I really knew was Kylie Minogue. So they weren't my taste of music celebrities, but they were celebrities. And we basically used to just do their visas. So if they were going on a tour, we would sort out all their visas for the different countries, because they are lots of paperwork, lots of time consuming paperwork, that none of their guys had time for, so they used to pay us to do it. And we used to renew passports and stuff. So that's what we used to do. Now, I've got proof that I worked there and I knew Kylie Minogue, because unfortunately when I was younger I used to do St John's Ambulance as a volunteer, and one of the volunteers got hit by a Brisker car at Vauxhall Stadium. Now, some of you may have heard about that, it was in the news. She was meant to go and see Kylie Minogue at Newmarket, and obviously couldn't because of the accident. So I contacted Kylie's manager and spoke to him through work, and she actually done a video. Can you hear him in the background? I actually got a video personally to the colleague from St John's, wishing her a speedy recovery, and I still have that video on my Dropbox. I will never get rid of that video, even though it's not for me. I know I got it. But yeah, so once I'd left there, I went into care and started doing care work. So I started off in domiciliary, which is house to house care, and I'd done that for a good year, maybe 2. It was alright. It was long hours, very long hours, but I loved it. Just going to see them. Sometimes you were the only person they would see all day, and that would make their day. So obviously that was really nice. Then from there I carried on in care, but at different care homes. I then went into the hospital. Oh, before the hospital I worked in a mental health unit in Colchester. That was an amazing job, and I don't know to this day why I left. I think it was because I wanted to go work in the hospital, and that was my dream, to work in a hospital, and it turned out that I hated working in a hospital. But when I was working in the mental health unit, I was actually an office manager. Although I still went out and helped the support workers, because it wasn't really care as such, like it wasn't personal care, it was more day-to-day living care, so helping them with their food, just keeping them company, simple things really. You were more their friend than a colleague, than a worker, to be fair, and that was nice. It was like one big family. So obviously I left there and went to the hospital. Well, didn't stay at the hospital very long. I was not happy at all. So I left there and went to a care home. Went to a few more care homes, and then I finished at Horgate House in Woodbridge. That's where I got, when I found out I was pregnant. So obviously from there I went on to maternity leave, and here I am. I've babbled on a lot, so if I've missed anything, not that you would know because you don't know me, but if there's anything else you want to hear or talk about, drop me a comment. Hopefully some point next week I'd like to do a video with my new Pinch of Nom book. Trying to start eating a bit more healthier. Obviously wanting to do it before the new year, when everyone goes, oh, I'm going on a diet for the new year. 2nd of January, eating all the chocolate. But yeah, so that's one thing I'm looking at doing. Hopefully at some point, when he's not screaming the flat down, I will introduce you to my little boy. But for now, I guess we'll sign off, and we'll see you next week.